Jay-Z and Puffy needed Biggie, kill primary concern, you don't want to trust me accept the realities, the very ex-protector that has worked for both the Carters and Diddy, has been making a few pretty wild cases about his previous bosses. Yet these aren't simply standard cases, good gracious it appears. He could really be working with the FBI to see a fair consequence given as per him. There's proof to back his statements about them. Uncle Ron had guardian charges that Puffy and JC were engaged with plotting to take Big Deal's life. He professes to have proof to help his allegations, yet shuns standing up prior because of worries for his family's well-being with his kids, grown up now. He trusts it's protected to uncover what he is familiar with their number one specialist, the grievous story of Big Deal's strange passing is notable alongside a portion of the occasions, paving the way to it. He kicked the bucket in Los Angeles, presently before the arrival of his collection life later, and there have been a few cases that Puffy may play had an influence in the episode. Bad-tempered the financial specialist, who benefited the most from Big Deal's demise, has been blamed for contribution by a larger number of people. Here's a man that needed to leave kid he needed to do whatever he might want to do. He referenced a few times how he was worn out on being utilized and mishandled, that he was greater than Terrible Kid itself. As per Uncle Ron, Biggie had intended to leave Terrible Kid records after the arrival of his collection, a choice that enraged Diddy, not set in stone, to hold his most significant ability under the care of him. This isn't whenever a protector first has asserted that Big Deal had communicated a premium in leaving the mark quality arrangement. A previous protector had recently made comparable cases about Big Deal's arrangements before his less than ideal demise, said that Big Deal had showed you an agreement that he planned to sign with one more name after this next collection. Definitely Huge had an agreement quality arrangement, had offered expressions demonstrating that Big Deal planned to leave from Terrible Kid records and seek after a superior proposition somewhere else during an appearance on DJ Vlad's vlog bargain, guaranteed that Big Deal had his sights set on a rewarding arrangement worth in excess of $60 million while watching over Denny's portfolio during a flight bargain, professed to have seen Big Deal's awful kid contract, which framed his profit in additions of $250,000, yet left distributing in pay in little guy's control. When Arrangement got some information about it, the rapper purportedly enlightened him regarding his arrangements for another arrangement. And the critical income it would bring, he said. He showed me it had Charlie Baltimore, Cameron Bill Stop, Lil Kim Jr. Mafia, Tracy Lee. And the commission, I think the agreement was for such countless years, for like $62 million. It emerges to $62 million bargain. Uncovered that huge plant and Junior Mafia's method of carrying on with work, and belief them should begin composing and holding their own. Puffy has been bringing in cash off of Big Deal's name for longer than Big Deal was alive. Individuals continue failing to remember he hadn't turned 25 yet. He was as yet 24 when he passed on. It's been north of 25 years, obviously. A Big Deal small section, entirely significant. So then what happened to the commission? What befell that collection? It was recorded. It was being blended and dominated upon Big Deal's demise. It should have came out that late spring after Big Deal's collection on the grounds that Big Deal's collection was scheduled. He passed on a week and a half before his collection came out. Then the commission should emerge, and that should be his exit from Terrible Kid. And afterward, beginning his own organization, Puffy has been bringing in cash on that kid's name longer than eBay. It upheld all the awful kid that is genuine, you know. The more cash you cause, the more issues you to get. Puma is another person who has asserted that Big Deal had plans to leave awful kid records and lay out his own organization. Moreover, she asserted that Diddy had benefited fundamentally from Big Deal's music following his demise. This data builds up the possibility that Diddy might play had an impact in Big Deal's less than ideal destruction, as he remained to lose. A Big Deal stayed alive and gain, assuming he vanished. If Biggie had endorsed with an alternate mark or begun his own organization, He would have represented a cutthroat danger to Diddy, possibly bringing about the deficiency of a unimaginable performer. Big Deal's postmortem tunes made tremendous progress, and he received the rewards. Walk First of 1997. I was drawn closer by Diddy to play out a hit on one of his craftsman Uncle Ron meet further claims, giving explicit dates and figures to help his case that Diddy had endeavored to recruit him to complete a hit on Biggie. These